Okay, we go first, and the starting hand isn't too bad, facing Joda, which should be interesting. Surprised to see Joda up here, actually, in our queue. Maybe the hand will tell us why. The hand is kind of lame. Only two non-lands. A Ronus and a sword, so it looks like the sword is going to take care of our Rusko. Okay, yeah, that was a silly misplay. I could have had the Rusko out there, but it would have been exiled anyway, I guess. And I should have actually not discarded the Scrav because we have the Fatal Push. Let's go for the Black Market Connections because we do need to hit some land drops. Yeah, playing sloppily, very sloppily. This is why you don't play Magic at 11 o'clock at night. Ronus, and they've got no white open. So this might just prove a point, actually. Even when you're tired and you're using Rusko, you can probably still win because it's just crazy easy to do stuff. Right, if we go for the Ashok here, we can bounce the Ronus to the hand and just slow him down a little bit. I mean, they're going to get to re-trigger the Joda once they play the Ronus after him, but it's all good. I don't really feel too much under threat here. Plus the Rusko lets us drain life with the passive ability as well. First Onyx, wow. I think we're going to do this, and this is probably going to be a game unless they can counter this. So we're going to make them sacrifice creature, and now every time we play instants and sorceries, we're going to drain them for 2. So I guess the way they can get out of this would be using casualties of war, or even an ultimatum of some kind. There's a few giving us some life. Great. So the 2 ultimatums that can help them is the Ruinous Ultimatum, which destroys all non-permanents, and also Emergent. So we'll see what they do here. We could just steal the Joda. That's kind of cheeky. Counterspell, okay. I think we're good, guys. Although if we use this, we then can't use the counterspell. So I think we just use Invoke. Wow, this is absolutely brutal. Unbelievable. The power level of these cards combined together. I haven't played Rusko. See, looks like that mistake paid off. Okay, down to 8. They're going to have something good here. Is it going to be an ultimatum? Because that's the only way someone would stay in. Resting Beast. We could have counterspelled that, or we could have actually sacked the treasure to use Fatal Push. Wow. Complete and utter dominance. Okay, we go first against Basriket, and a lot of ramp. This seems okay, actually. Especially because we'll have the Wash Away versus the Basriket if they choose to go for that on curve. But they're probably going to have loads of, low drop creatures here, which makes sense. This comes in tapped. So next turn we can go for the Midnight Clock, and then it will leave up the blue for the Wash Away. Or we could even go for the Rusko and pressure them that way, but then they'll have the Basriket. Okay. Hopefully they don't have a way to kill the way the tapper just did that is kind of irritating, because it didn't leave the blue open. Why would it do that? Like, it favoured the Barad-dûr being untapped, but I'm not really sure why. Guardian of New Benalia, okay. They're doing everything but the Basriket. We're only taking a bit, though. It's not too bad. If they crack the Hope of Girapur, then, yeah, whatever. So I always like to tap rocks before anything else, because if they die, you lose the ability to use them. Again, it wants to tap the blue source here. Stop doing that, please. So yeah, in order to have the wash away up, we can't go for the Mind Stone, sadly. And then next turn, we can go for the Professor Onyx and make them lose something of the greatest power, which would be the Isamaru or the Guardian of New Benalia, I guess. I really do want them to cast Basriket, as weird as that sounds. They're very cognizant of the wash away being potentially there. Swing with these two, and they're probably going to use the Enlist ability. Enlist is one of the most forgettable abilities I think they've ever made. So when it attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without Summoning Sickness. There's so many stipulations, you know. There's like 3 hoops. You need to have not Summoning Sickness for this, not Summoning Sickness for the other thing. And it's like banding. Banding gone wrong. So we could block here, but I'd rather just cast spells and drain them next turn. Down to 15. So we can't cast non-creature spells in our next turn. Sure thing. Oh, sorry, until our next turn. Which means the Basriket just came out with... That's actually really annoying. They are running rings around us, aren't they? If we were to draw a creature, that would be insane. So we can't cast any of these things. Okay, then we will turn this into a creature and try and swing it at Basriket. So he'll take at least 2. And then we'll have our counter spell left for the next turn. We can counter anything as well because we have the 4 mana up. Yeah, interesting. Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, that Hope of Girapa really screwed us up, sadly. I guess they lose the L-Seed. We're oddly playing a lot of mono white decks today, and I'm not sure why. I guess the algorithm has completely flipped on its head. I think this is the most cautious I've ever seen a mono white player. Swinging for 6. Jeez, that's gonna sting. They have something in their hand. They keep looking at it, like, excitedly. We might as well put a counter on one of these clocks. A land would actually be pretty nice here. Please don't be Reprieve. Okay. So they're going to try and respond to the ETB, it looks like. Is it another kill spell? Okay, so did they have to do that there? Just, like, did they have to sneak that in underneath the Rusko? I really don't know. I really don't know. I know that the experimental augury is going to go off, going to proliferate our clocks, so that'll be good. I'm a bit scared of this ultimating because we will probably lose the game if that happens, but we shall see. What on earth have they got? Shortfang wins award for the most cautious white player in 2023.
Now is the time to strike.
I mean, so far they've done amazingly well against us. That's got indestructible. That's only going to be 7. Okay, not too bothered about that. We can recoup afterwards. Sure, let's go for the experimental augury. Weirdly, I probably want a land here. Or maybe some kind of board wipe. Languish. I mean, if they kill one of the clocks, that's -3 power, which... Sure. But why would they... Why would they show us the Cathar Commando last time if they weren't going to use it? Where's protection? Okay. How peculiar. Okay. Teferi's protection. So that means they're going to be able to ultimate Basri Ket in their next turn. Sure thing. So they're going to get counters. So we don't have a way to... We'd need a way to instantly... need a way to kill him, but we need a new hand. So the midnight clock is going to go off if we play a spell. So if we go for the Mind Stone. And then if we go for Shieldred here, it means that we're going to gain loads of life in their upkeep. Yeah, because, okay, this is actually, I'm actually pretty happy about this. So when this clock goes off, we should gain 14 with the Shieldred. So that was actually a really amazing top deck. Unless the Cathar's Commando kills it in response. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, why didn't they have... Yeah, I think they made a mistake there. I mean, they didn't have that on the field, did they? But they could have done that in response to that going off, I think. And now we have 21 life. And we have an extinction event. So they get the ultimate, which is somewhat concerning. But don't forget, if we cast another spell here, we could gain another 14 with this Shieldred. So they will have an ultimate, but we do have the power of Drain. So we'll see. What are they looking at all our lands for? What even is this? I'm actually kind of annoyed. This is not enjoyable because there's so many stops. It's not a very fluid game, unfortunately. I know not everyone can play as fast, but man, come on. You got one card in hand and a Basri Ket. Sure, so we're going to counter that. We're going to draw a set of new cards, which is annoying because we have the River's Rebuke, but we need to stay alive. Okay, the Silumgar's Command. Wow, this Shieldred is doing a lot of work here. And yet again, they didn't want to respond. Slightly strange. 36 life now. Okay. So they can enlist with this, and it can deal a hell of a lot of damage, actually. Just by itself. So that's going to be 8. Right, so we're going to need something pretty good. So we're going to... I think we're just going to take these. No blocks. Down to 23. And they really don't want to get rid of this commander, do they? They're trying to use it to eke us out. Okay, interesting. Blood Chief's Thirst. We can probably just do this here. Ooh, what do we kill? I think we kill the Guardian, because that gives them a lot of, like, utility. The Scry 2, the Indestructible. Oh, no, they can actually discard a card to make it indestructible. Okay, fine. So they get rid of a card. Sure. Okay. That was... Oh, yeah, that was a mistake there. But having Redain would have been actually quite annoying as well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So probably go for the search for a Scanter. So they're thinking about the Cathar Commander this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it safe to go for Jingataxius? Maybe? We're going to lose this ultimate, aren't we? Yeah, I should have Blood Chief's Thirst on literally anything else, but if I did it on Cathar Commander, then... The timing on that is weird. Okay, fine, we're both doing silly things. We're even now. And we don't want to attack blocks. Which one do we want to do? Yeah, we'll attack with Rusko, because we want to probably block with Shieldred. Down to 19. Okay. Oh my god, I'm panicking now. Panicking Skywalker. Basri Ket, so they go into combat step. These are all going to get huge. I could have stopped this 6 damage last turn. I'm banking on the Silumgar's command to do some work here. Question is... See, the thing is, they only have 17. They only have 17 life. And we have 9 to 12. We've got 12 power, so... Interesting. So yeah, as long as we leave up Silumgar's command, I think we should be good. We also draw so many cards. So yeah, Jin plus Shieldred is crazy. We draw cards, we gain life. Wow, Ashiok. What do we get here? Any kind of board wipe, I think we got him. Nothing at all, just lands. That's savage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See what's in the hand here. What's it going to be? Just a land. Okay. So yeah, I think we just bide our time here. A bit longer. We can probably attack with Rusko. Ah, they're starting to panic now. Imagine that, eh? Dimir getting Dimir killing a mono white player with life loss. That is an unusual scenario, isn't it? Yeah, because they're down to 13. So I think if they just go for the Basri, we can counter it, bounce something. See what they do here. -3, and we can bounce something. Going into Narset. That is strange. They're actually bothered about Narset, which is intriguing. Okay, fine. So that's 10 coming in. I think we just take it. No blocks required. Down to 9. This is a scary battle.
Still have much to learn.
Shatter the sky. And this is why we kept up the counter spell. Counter non-creature spell and return a permanent to the hand. I think we're going to return this because that is so stupidly big now. And I think we win the game for it as well. Because even if they redeploy that... Oh my goodness, that was so lucky. Yeah, we needed our creatures to win. And or not lose. Okay. Sangromancer. Wow. Do we need that? No, I don't think so. It's actually really awesome, but... Shipwreck Marsh. So they can discard something to give this indestructible. Okay, so we're going to do a two-pronged attack here. We'll start with the Ashiok. Oh my god, I keep forgetting that Junk Attack just lets us draw more cards. Play a spell, draw a card, gain 2 life. Amazing. So we'll bounce this to their hand. Make them exile a card, so they'll exile the planes. So that's one thing down. Thoughtseize the Guardian away. And so if we attack with everything, they'll block the 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we do this, I think we just win here. So they're at 9. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so we just alpha. And that's game, unless they can somehow gain life in their upkeep. Because they'll lose 2 with the Shieldred, you see. Oh my goodness, we won through a Bazooka ultimate. That was epic. Epic. If you are liking this video, why don't you leave me a like and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. If you would like to get custom videos, why not check out my donation tiers in the description box. You can join YouTube membership, you can join Ko-fi, or even Patreon. Just take a look, and it really helps the channel. So, on to the next video. Okay, this feels like a strange matchup to see Adeline here, but I mean, she is strong, to be fair. But is she as strong as a Rusko? I don't know. Has Rusko been moved out of Hellq? I couldn't tell you. But it is a bit strange. Unless I've just grossly misinterpreted Adeline's power here. So, luckily, we have the mana and we can go for Extinction Event next turn. 1, 2, and 3. So we're probably just going to go and exile all odd things next turn. Otherwise, it's going to get really out of hand here. Down to 18 already. So this is why board wipes are so strong. Obviously, they've still got a couple things left, but we get rid of two pretty potent things. And then eventually we're going to hopefully be able to build up to the River's Rebuke if we're alive by that time. Esper Sentinel. And a Recruitment Officer. Okay, so I feel like after the Adeline's gone, we've bought ourselves quite a lot of time, to be honest. Shieldred's good. And the Rusko gives us a clock, so we've got 6 mana next turn. And they have a swords, which ironically does give us a bit more life. Okay. Feeling pretty confident. Bazooka. Sure.
We are a team. We succeed or fail as one.
So yeah, our River's Rebuke here is going to be really, really good. Because this is quite frightening, to be honest. If it wasn't for the River's Rebuke, we would legit just be dead here. So that should buy us a bit of time. So they can deploy 2 to 3 things here. Most annoyingly, Esper Sentinel and Bazooka, but okay, they're not going to be able to do both. Captain Eberhardt. And the Recruitment Officer. Sure thing. So if we go for Jink Ataxius next turn, we can try and steal 2 things. With Invoke the Winds, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, we only have 3 islands, so we desperately need another. So that counters the Sentinel. Does that mean they have a kill spell here? Or was that a mistake? I wonder. Because I sometimes forget that Esper Sentinel is an artifact as well. Loxodon. Okay, so they're going for the big swing. Bastion. Okay, so that's a shame. We can't do everything we need to. I guess we go for Shieldred, which kills one of the threats. Because they're all threats at this point, having only 9 life. And And then maybe Narset can find us something else to defend ourselves with.
Keep an open mind.
I suppose the Signet is the best choice here. Because we're going to get 2 of them with the Jinap. So it's basically a free card next turn. Because we're paying 2 to get 2 mana back. So that's cool. As we can. Okay. So making stuff bigger is quite concerning with this double striker. But we can just block here if we want to. Oh, it's got indestructible. That is annoying. But I think we still do the block. Because that's going to be 6 taking us to 3. I think that's just a bit too risky. And a Selfless Savior as well. Okay, so we're going to need something really good here. Even if it's just a blue mana. Ooh, Ashiok. Okay. Removal spell? Nothing. That's a real shame. Okay, so yeah, I think we go for the Ashiok, bounce the Captain Eberhard here. Which actually gets rid of them forever because they have no cards in hand. Okay. And then we just hold back. I'm a bit scared. Only 9 life with the Basriket out. Maul of the Skyclave. So that gets countered. I wonder if they keep forgetting about this, because that would have been a turn to just go for Adeline, and that would have resolved. Yeah, they just... Yeah, I feel bad for them, because they are making mistakes, but... Where do they want to go? This is the question. I don't think I want to block here, because otherwise we're not going to have a way to... Wow. They'd rather try and take out the Ashiok. Okay, I think that's fine. Like, that would have been half our life. Okay, so we got the land. Okay, I think we just win then, because then we're just going to steal both of their creatures here. Come on, tower. And there's not much they can do. I mean, they can sack the dog in response, but yeah, damn, stealing both the creatures, even though they had 25 life, it was enough to take them out of the game. Okay, opponent goes first with Heliod, and we literally have the Ultra Synergy Reservoir Citadel, so I think we're gonna have to keep this. We don't actually have any defensive spells, which is a bit scary, but Fatal Push, there we go. Fatal Push might come in handy here. Birth of Meletis, interesting. Normally we see the curve go 1 drop, 2 drop, and then a Heliod. As in like small creatures with lifelink. So this is kind of... I'm happy about this. And also this is a defender, so putting counters on this doesn't really bother me. And we can also kill it with a push if we have to as well. They're not actually going to play anything. That's interesting. Maybe they have... Go for the arena first. Maybe they have Reprieve to put this back into our hand. They do. Okay. Ooh, knowledge is a curse sometimes, guys. So now Mono White is posing threat. But yeah, it's just Heliod. I mean, not that bothered. We do miss a land drop here, but... Reprieve. I still think that was a very aggressive Reprieve. And they're missing land drops as well, I think. So there's not that much pressure. Giant Killer. Come on, do we gonna... Okay, we get a land. Maybe we just go for Languish here. Or is that too soon? Let's take them off. Both of their creatures. It's good because it means they can't just randomly put creatures on stuff to make them, you know, bigger. And also Languish does kind of get worse over time. Okay, we're just getting so many spells here. We need to get lands, to be honest. Okay, so we get the land, the Inquisition. What we're going to see in the hand here. They've got... I suppose we get rid of the Linden, because that synergizes really well. We'll get rid of the counter spell, because we don't have anything to counter with no mana. So that hand is pretty stacked there. If they get a 4th land, we could be in a lot of trouble here. Fumigate, Declaration. So they currently can't deal with the Tasha. So let's just tick up. If they ever get to 5 mana, then they can kill her with the ECD. But if we get to 6 loyalty and ultimate her, they're going to have a really hard time here. And also, they use the ECD on the Tasha. It means they don't have the ECD for anything else. So, there's that as well. Wow, so many good spells. I think we just River's Rebuke and probably win the game here. A bit boring though, isn't it? It's a bit boring just doing that. But I've said it before, if you have the play, just do it. Because if you don't do it, they're just going to try and kill you. If they top deck a land, they're going to get Elspeth Conquers Death. And if they don't, then we get to ultimate. So it's a basically we have a gambit here. They need a land, or we're just going to ultimate them. Which gets 3 creatures, which isn't the end of the world. Okay, so they get the land, and they get rid of Tasha. Sure thing.
I'll brew something awful for you next time.
So the rest of their hand doesn't look like they have a way to deal with a Bolus Citadel. So maybe we just go ahead and do it. And then next turn we can go for the Aether Flux Reservoir. Discard a card. Get rid of this. So on our next turn, spells are going to cost 2 more. How does that work with Citadel then? Does that mean we just pay 2 more life on top of... We'll have to find out. It's going to be interesting to see. Non-creature spells cost 2 more. So this is going to cost 2 in addition to life, I suppose. Okay. How do we get rid of this Basri's Lieutenant now? Interesting. So maybe we just go for creatures for now. Although they do have the removal, so... I guess we can make them choose, right? Do they want to get the Rusko or do they want to get the Shieldred? They're both insanely good. And they threw away the Fumigate, rather regrettably for them. I bet they wish they had that now. Valorous Stance in the upkeep. Interesting, they didn't even want to see what they drew. That was a terrible move, because what have they drawn on the board wipe? So it looks like our Meat Hook Massacre is going to do a lot of work here. Wow, okay, and we have the 2 drains. Oh, sorry, not 2 drains, but we get to drain with the Rusko, and the Aether Flux gives us life, so that's going to be good. Right, let's see what we get. We could just go for the Meat Hook Massacre here and get them all off the table, although they're going to get 3 2/2s. Six toughness. Wowzers. They're going to get a 6/6 in return. So we're going to have to go X equals... Yeah, we're not in a good situation now, are we? The Basri's Lieutenant actually makes this really annoying. So if we go for the Meat Hook Massacre, it's going to cost 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we did this. Okay, we'll just do this. Let's get this out of the way. I suppose we do kill the commander as well. Okay. I think that's just easy to just do that now. 3 2-2s though. I'm not happy about this. I guess we can fatal push in the next. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. We'll just keep it cool here. Yeah, it turns out Bazu's lieutenant is pretty good against board wipes. Cleric class. So they gain life, they gain an additional life. And a Leonin war leader. Right, okay, we're going to need something else good now. Let's take one of these out. Down to 9. So we could go for the Panamonican. But do we just die to everything else? Need some life gain here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I guess we want to go for the hand. With the duress, maybe get rid of something. 4, 5, 6. Do we live if we go for Panamonican to set up the following turn? Tapped and attacking, so we're going to need another board wipe if we do. But yeah, if we go for Panamonican here. Actually, if we just basically play this for free, don't we? We gain a life for playing this. So we don't actually have to use this for all the other modes. Just maybe gaining treasure will be good. I'm a bit scared though. Okay, Heliod. So they're going to gain a lot of counters here, which is going to force us to have a board wipe or something. So we're going to hopefully chain off with the Ether Flux Reservoir, or we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Wow, okay, Orcish Bowmasters. Just lose a life. We don't want to lose too much. And get rid of the one ring, I suppose. So I think first things first, we'll play the Rusko because we want to start draining after that as well. I think we're in a really fantastic position here because this is an ETP as well, so we're going to get to kill their 2/2 and amass twice. This is kind of broken now. They got us to 5 as well. So we lose 2, but we gain 3. Jinga Taxi is on top. Oh my goodness. So we could just straight up go for the duress here, gain some life, and then play the Jin. Yeah, I think we've basically got this in the bag. Playing Jin off the top. Wow, and a Raven form which gets copied. I think. Oh no, it's the first spell you cast. This is so bonkers. Just take out their entire field. I wonder if the opponent realises how much trouble they're in now. We've even got the midnight clock that's going to go off soon as well. So we can literally just do that here. Proliferate every clock, even the amass token, and even the Elswith's Nightmare. So we're going to get to draw a fresh 7 and look at the top card of our deck again. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen such craziness in one turn. Even the Shieldred is going to start gaining this. How are they going to get around this? No board wipes are going to work. Because the Jin's going to counter it. Wow, okay, fantastic. And pass to them. So obviously, if they get a farewell, we're just doomed. But if they do get a farewell, they can't cast it because they've only got 5 mana. We really turned that turn around, didn't we? And that wasn't even with Rusko. I mean, Rusko gave us the clocks, I suppose, but... Enduring Angel. So if they were to die, if their life would be reduced to 0, instead transform this and the life becomes 3. Then if it didn't transform this way, you lose the game. Okay. Swinging with all these guys. So we're going to take 7. Okay. Right, let's see what craziness we can do here. I'll be surprised if we didn't win here. Okay, so we can start with... Wow. Okay, that is just insane. Invoke Despair. Why can't I cast Invoke Despair? Because they have hexproof. Interesting. The hexproof actually means we can't target them, so we're going to have to go for the Professor Onyx first, which can then -3 on the Enduring Angel. And I think that's going to be it. Them having hexproof is legitimately... Oh no, wait. Highest... Oh, the greatest power. I thought it was greatest CMC. Okay, fair enough. We can just bounce it with the Pursuing Mist. But now we also copy this and drain them for 2 with the Liliana. Wow, we had so many lines of play there. That was pretty crazy. I know. I've done it. I've gone and made a Rusko deck. And to be honest, things have changed in the meta. I feel as though Rusko was kind of like part of a wave of cards that introduced just the hugest power creep that Arena has ever seen. So this video is more of a reflexive account of, let's just take a look and see at which point the game pivoted and how it got to this power level, and kind of like an analysis into the enemy. So luckily Rusko isn't a card we see very often these days unless we play Hell Cube, because he is just that absurdly powerful. If you've not seen Rusko, then you may have been living under a rock, but it's a 4-mana 3/3. Enters battlefield, you get a Midnight Clock, and whenever you cast an uncreature spell, you put an hour count on each permanent you control named Midnight Clock, then each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. So it's like specific proliferate just for Midnight Clocks. So the reason this guy is so good is because he just gives you so much advantage for such a low cost. So 4 mana, you get a rock, which means you're paying half the command tax for the next time you want to cast him anyway. So normally it's 1 extra land to play him again after he's been killed. He drains for 1 on each non-creature spell, which is just ludicrous. I'm not sure why they added that. And also, when the clock goes off, you draw 7. It's just way too much advantage. And yeah, this guy used to be one of the few problems of the game. And then they made Atraxa the Unifier, which is like Rusko, but in one go. Because it has the lifelink, it has the cards instantly. For 7 mana, yes, it's more, but it's just equally as strong. But weirdly, Atraxa is not in Hellq. So I thought, let's make a Rusko deck and let's see exactly how people enjoy him. And I can see why. It's because it's just easy, right? If you make a Rusko deck, it's just absolutely easy mode. Everything is just on the plate, there for you. And I understand that's how some people like to play, which is completely understandable when people don't have time and they don't feel like they've got time to develop a deck, so they just use a known strategy. Fair enough. Maybe they feel like they want to have control over something, and yeah, Rusko definitely gives you that. So this shell is essentially a 2023 version of Rusko, and it's very powerful because it's one of my trusted Dimir shells. So my shells always include the discard spells, stuff like Thoughtseize, Inquisition, and Divest and Duress to get rid of the opponent's threats. You've got Pact of Negation and Wash Away to just stop your opponent doing things for a very low cost. 0 mana is incredible. Like if you've got 5 mana, Rusko out, you're going to stop their next play Pact of Negation, you probably win the game. We have on the top end Jingy Taxis to stop them playing stuff. Yes, this deck is very toxic, very toxic. Ballistic Citadel to play stuff for free, combine that with the Aether Flux Reservoir to start gaining life eventually and just shoot them for 50. We've got the Panamonican to double the Rusko trigger, the One Ring to draw loads more cards, not that probably don't even need it. And yeah, Shieldred, all the bog standard stuff. This is basically Dimir best of cards. And yep, the purpose of this video is not to make friends and just to see how Rusko feels in 2023. I feel like my estimation of him has dropped slightly just because they keep making more cards like this. It's kind of crazy that I've made this in the first place just because, I don't know, I said I'd never really touch it, but yeah, times change, power creep happens, and I can almost guarantee Wizards will make stronger cards on Rusko in the future, and it's just only a matter of time. I mean, Ragavan's in the format now, which is interesting because at first I thought Ragavan was too overpowered, but in essence, Ragavan's introduction into HalQ Tier 1 actually weakens control decks, because if you have something that's so fast, control decks have to be very, very quick to take him out. So with that in mind, that's exactly why I've got stuff like Fatal Push in the deck and Blood Chief's Thirst just to be able to deal with Ragavan. But yeah, it's interesting. The meta should be interesting to see how this goes. Don't forget, if you like this video and you've enjoyed what I've done here, done a bit of research, made the dreaded Rusko deck, drop me a like and a sub to support the channel, and you can always donate to me in the description box below. So hope you've enjoyed today's videos, and make sure to watch more of my videos in the future. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.